Hi, good evening. My name is Bunmi Akano, and you are welcome to the Project Lead Young Leaders Forum. I'll be speaking on the subject proactiveness today. Uh, so let us look at the definition of proactive. So, proactive is actually the adjective of proactiveness. Okay, so the dictionary describes proactive as acting in advance to deal with an expected difficulty, which is you are being anticipatory in nature. Another definition is you're serving to prepare for, intervene in, or control an expected occurrence or situation. Another definition is you're tending to initiate change rather than reacting to events. And another definition is controlling a situation by causing something to happen rather than waiting to respond to it after it happens. The adjective proactive can describe a person who gets things done. Proactive is broken into two subwords. The second is active, which means doing something. The prefix pro in front of the word means before. So if you are proactive, you are ready before something happens. The opposite of proactive is being reactive or waiting for things to unfold before responding. Let's look at some synonyms of the word proactive. Enterprising is a synonym. Take charge. Energetic, driven, bold, dynamic, motivated. Go ahead. These are all synonyms of the word proactive. Antonyms of the word proactive include passive, retroactive, and reactive. Now we'll look at proactive people versus reactive people. Proactive people see themselves in the driver's seat of their life. They are in charge of their decisions and are accountable for the outcomes of those decisions. Reactive people, however, see themselves in the passenger seat of their life and are influenced by other people and their emotions and feelings towards them. Reactive people have a victim mentality, and someone with a victim mentality does not accept responsibility. Proactive people control situations and do not allow it to control them. Reactive people, on the other hand, leave things and allow it to control them. Being reactive is easier and it helps us to deal with things. This may be because of trauma or that we have learned it as a behavior over time. That is why we find being reactive easier. So, generally, people find it easier to be reactive. Instead of reacting to or worrying about conditions over which they have little or no control, proactive people focus their time and energy on things they can control. The problems, challenges, and opportunities we all face in life fall into two areas: circle of concern and circle of influence. Proactive people focus their efforts on their circle of influence. They work on the things that they can do something about, such as their health, their children, problems at work, things that you can actually do something about. However, proactive people focus their own efforts on the circle of concern, which are things over which they have little or no control over. Things like debt, terrorism, weather, these are kind of things that they focus on. So we have to gain an awareness on the areas in which we expend our energies. There are four special human endowments that give us power of choice in our actions, because we have basically said proactivity is you planning ahead, while reactivity is you reacting to a situation, or after a situation has happened, the thing that you do after. So what are those four special human endowments that give you power of choice in your actions, which is to choose either of these two actions, either the proactive action or the reactive action? Number one, self-awareness. Self-awareness is the understanding that you do have a choice between stimulus and a response. Stimulus is a knee-jerk reaction and an actual response. If someone insults you, you can choose not to become angry. If you are offered a donut, you can choose to eat it or not to eat it. So, I mean, this choice lies with you. The choice always lies with you. Number two, conscience. The ability to consult your inner compass to decide what is right for you. You can make decisions based on unchanging principles regarding of what is socially favored at the moment. Number three, creative imagination. The ability to visualize alternative responses. By using your imagination, you can mentally generate and evaluate different options. So you can think through you can think through the outcome of a positive response and the outcome of a negative response. Four, independent will. You have the freedom to choose your own unique response because, I mean, you have your will. You aren't forced to conform to what others expect of you. Now, let us look at advantages of being proactive. At the end of the day, proactive people achieve more in life. Proactive people tend to be more relaxed, prepared, and positive due to the precautionary steps that they have taken for potential situations. They have more control over their future. They tend to take things easier and are not easily affected by the twists and turns of life. This is because they have anticipated certain challenges and have planned and prepared ahead of them. Proactive people are optimistic. They do not blame anyone for their actions. They think before they act. They are able to bounce back quickly when things do not go their way. Now, let us look at the disadvantages of not being proactive. Reactive people become dreadful as they are never able to think before they act, which causes a lot of regret in their lives. When they react, they tend to cause problems for themselves and for others. However, when we respond, we try to get rid of the problem or stop it from occurring in the first place. So, response is actually a proactive method, while reacting is a negative method. Being reactive usually forces you to take situations as they are and to fix them with minimal time and resources, just because you have not planned ahead for that problem. Why should I be proactive? You may be asking yourself. Now, these are some of the reasons why you should be proactive. You cannot make significant change in your life if you sit back and think that change will come to you. You need to be proactive in order to shift the paradigms of your life and those around you. You need to realize you are the one with the ultimate control. You can turn your beliefs into achievements just by being proactive. Also, it feels good to be proactive. So, apart from being able to make significant change in your life, it also actually feels good to be proactive. Once you begin to plan, work towards your goal, and think through decisions, you will see a noticeable change in your life. You will experience less stress and your confidence will grow as you gain control of your responsibilities. We all need structure, rules, and boundaries. So, for example, doing your homework on time, breaking large assignments down, and working on them each night, keeping a personal calendar of upcoming events are all ways you can create structure in your life. And these are all proactive ways. Positive results also breed internal motivation. That's another reason. So, the more proactive you are, the more motivated you become to take control of and responsibility for your decisions. So, what happens is that the more you see the results from being proactive, the more you are encouraged to continue to be proactive. And that leads to a geometric progression in your life positively. So, you may be asking, how can I be proactive? So let us look at ways in which you can be proactive. In order to seek out and be proactive, you must be able to take responsibility for your actions. So we had said that a couple of times, but that's very, very key. You are in the key driver um, seat of your life, and you are taking responsibility for everything that happens in it, whether good or whether bad. Number two, focus on what you can control. Number three, always listen to your own language. Do not speak to yourself negatively. Don't say negative things to yourself. You can always tell the difference between a proactive and a reactive response. So, for example, don't say words like, I don't have any choice. Saying you don't have any choice is a reactive response and will do you no good. Take ownership of your wants and needs. That's number three. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge your wants, acknowledge your needs, acknowledge your ambitions, acknowledge what you want to do. List them out and start to work towards them. That is a proactive step when you have taken ownership of your wants and your needs and everything that you want to achieve in life. It's usually your first step. Number four, prioritize your responsibilities according to the order of importance. So you would always have many things to do. You have homework, you have competing deadlines, you have various things, you have your chores at home. So you have to actually be very skilled at prioritizing. Know what you're supposed to do first, know what's supposed to come in second, know the important things, know the things that are urgent, and know the things that are important. Understand timelines and deadlines and work towards that. Number five, think through scenarios before you take any action. Please, no knee-jerk reactions, no knee-jerk actions. Don't do things that you may regret after. A lot of times we do things that we may end up regretting. So think through your actions before you take them. Think through scenarios before you before you take any action. You can even visualize this in your head for some time. Play it around before you take any action that you need. Do not procrastinate. Do whatever it is you need to do now. Procrastination would steal your future away from you. If you continue to procrastinate and you don't do what you're supposed to do at the time that you're supposed to do them, then you continue to elongate the time that you should get things done. So do not procrastinate. Procrastination is the thief of time. Number 7, have a can-do spirit. Don't be discouraged in yourself. Have a can-do spirit, even when you make some errors or you have some failures in your life. Don't give up on yourself. Continue to push through. Have that can-do spirit. And then learn how to manage your time finally. Time management is one key critical skill that you'll need, especially in this world of today when there's so many things that are distracting us. You have your chores, you have your school, you have social media, you have entertainment, you have your friends, you have so many things distracting you. And don't get carried away with social media. Social media can be distracting even for adults. So make sure that you spend time on social media. WhatsApp, when I say social media, I mean WhatsApp. If your parents have given you, that authority or that permission to use some social media tools and apps, but use it sensibly. Allocate a time each day that you want to use it, and rather use it for things that are beneficial for your future rather than just chit chatting away. So you need to learn how to manage your time. This is very, very important. All of us have the same 24 hours in a day. Nobody has more than 24 hours. But if you need to see the quality of output some people generate from their 24 hours against some others. So if you put two people together, one person has done more with 24 hours than the other person, even though they had the same scenarios and they had the same working material. So you need to learn how to manage your time. Very, 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 very key. Now, my final word. In order to be proactive, we must foresee into the future and think before we act. Thank you very much for listening to today's session on proactivity, on proactiveness. Thank you so much for your time. Bye bye.